What's up guys, Aroneous here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video I'm going to be showcasing to you something great. I haven't done this in a while. I actually don't think I even done this at all on my account. I'm not known for building clan boss teams, but I'm going to start trying to get into that a little bit more. But I think this is going to be for those out there who are a little bit lazy like myself, okay? And this is going to be a 2-key Ultra Nightmare team. So let's get into it. Alright, so the 2-key Ultra Nightmare team. I did recently run a team that was pretty sweet. I do have a clan. We can't take down Ultra Nightmare, but we do take down Nightmare every single day. This is on my pay-to-win account, and the team behind me has 41.61 million damage. That is the team that I call the HELIFATCRUSHER team. Now, there are those like HELICRUSHER teams out there with Skullcrusher, but this team is called the HELIFATCRUSHER. This is a 2-key Ultra Nightmare full auto team. So if you're like me and you don't want to do the manualing in the beginning, then this is going to possibly be the team for you. You'll notice that when I showed you that picture, it has this champion in it, Tohana. I get that. But you can substitute her for Doom Priest, okay? Doom Priest with damage. And the reason why is Doom Priest also has increased attack. Tohana has increased defense. Alright, so let me go ahead and showcase to you the different champions that I utilized. So first we're going to start off with Tohana. Again, she is very interchangeable. You can utilize Doom Priest for her. I do recommend putting people in toxic sets if you can help it. Or if you wanted just a crazy amount of sheer damage, then go with Savage set. So Savage set, Toxic set. I went with Toxic set on a couple of these builds, but you can do a Savage set. And you'll notice that these builds aren't crazy. They're halfway decent builds. They're more of a mid to late game build. They're not insane at all. It's probably like a mid game build, to be honest with you. So a lot of 5-star pieces here, halfway decent gear, kind of thrown about. So for her total stats, she has 2600 defense. She scales on defense, so you want to stack that defense. This specific composition has so much room for growth on this account that I have, my pay-to-win account, and if I could get her to like 4,000 or 5,000 defense, she's going to be hitting even more damage. Notice I have her at 186 speed. Again, she's interchangeable with Doom Priest, so you could take him Doom Priest, slaughter in for her, 186 speed. As long as she has the speed thresholds, she's fine. Doom Priest might actually potentially be better for this build because she has the increased attack. So if you bring in attack-based champions against the clan boss, they're going to do even more damage for you. So 40,000 HP, 2600 defense, 100% crit rate, 154 crit damage. Again, that has room for growth. And then 265 accuracy, kind of overboard with the accuracy, but that's what I got on her. For the masteries, I went down with the offense tree into War Master, defense tree to do those double counter attacks as needed. For her skills, she is fully booked, so you might want to consider fully booking her. No blessing, but I would suggest putting Brimstone on your legendary champions against clan boss, because Brimstone does a crazy amount of damage. Now, next champion is going to be Helicath. So Helicath, pretty straightforward. With Helicath, you just need to run at least 246 speed, and everything else will come afterwards. So 246 speed. He's got 3,700 defense, 47,000 HP, 100% crit rate, 100% crit damage, a little over it, 183 accuracy. This is a part that really kind of is annoying for me because I couldn't get my accuracy to 230. But if you can get him to 230 accuracy, he'll apply the weaken on the A1 ability. But the main ability for him is going to be the block damage. And it's going to be up the entire time. You'll see it'll go the full 50 turns. And again, it's full auto, so that's why this team is so awesome. It's a 2-key, full auto, and again, I did it on my first attempt. I don't know if there's going to be any differences on my second attempt, but I'm pretty sure, pretty positive, I can bet my left leg on it, that it will do another 35+ million damage on the second attempt. So I did go with crit damage here. It ended up landing on defense 3 times instead of accuracy, so there's that. Obviously, I'd want more damage on this guy. Of course, you have to hit those speeds, though, of exactly 246. I would not go above or below. Just try to hit 246. If you copy it that way, it should work fine. Masteries, I went with Steadfast because I don't want him taking the stun if possible. I want that A1 that the clan boss does to go on Skullcrusher. He can't counterattack, but he will remove that stun when he takes a turn. Whereas Helicath is going to hit harder than Skullcrusher on a counterattack. Plus, Helicath has the ability to place the weakens, so you want him to counterattack and not get the stun if possible. Plus, you want to put Helicath in the lead for defense because he does have an aura of 30% in all battles. So that's going to benefit him, it's going to benefit Tohana, and it's going to benefit our Skullcrusher as well. So for Blessing, again, I would go with Brimstone. Ridiculous Blessing. I don't have a Blessing on him, but if I did get a Blessing, we would probably get between 3 and 10 million more damage between the two legendary champions that I'm playing with here. The next champion that we've got going on is, of course, our Skullcrusher. So let me go to Skullcrusher. So here he is. I'll showcase Geomancer after. But Skullcrusher, again, no blessings. Would be nice to have blessings on him. I did put him in. I almost got him in, rather. I don't have him in yet, but I would like to get a different piece of gear. I just couldn't get the speeds and everything where I wanted it to be. So I did end up putting him in almost a toxic set, but not quite. I might have to figure out it off screen how to change that up. But you need him at exactly 173 speed, so he's always placing the unkillable on himself when the clan boss takes a turn and hits him. So that's very, very important. Then accuracy, I don't want accuracy banner, but I ended up only having an accuracy banner. I could put defense, possibly. I don't think I have it. Unfortunately, I don't have a defense banner, and I could do an HP banner, but the issue is I don't have enough silver to upgrade it to max, so that's a big issue. Of course, when I get a defense banner, I'm going to replace that with a defense banner so he can do more damage in the end. So I have him at 87% crit rate, 200% crit damage. Now, my biggest issue I have with this team as well is I totally forgot that Farak and the Fat has a increased crit rate by 30% for 3 turns. So everybody can go down to 70% crit rate, and you don't need 100% crit rate. So that was one big what the heck on my part. But I don't have the silver to re-gear everybody. So don't do what I did. You want to get as much damage as possible. You only need 70% crit rate if you have Farak and the Fat. Going on to Geomancer here, we've got him almost in a Relentless set. You actually don't want him in a Relentless set because it could throw him off of the tune. So I wouldn't suggest going with the Relentless unless you're going to run like Helicath and Demitha, or Helicath and a Maneater, or Helicath and Rosh card, something like that. Then you can go with Relentless, probably with no problem. But then again, you'd have to have way crazier speeds. And again, that's why we're doing this Ultra Nightmare 2-key team, the HELIFATCRUSHER, and it's going to be able to take care of any affinity as well. So because of that cleanse, because of our Tohana. So that's going to be fantastic. Now he is fully booked, no blessing. His masteries went down with War Master, counterattack as well here. So I went with the counterattack masteries, War Master on the left side. And I just wanted him to get some damage out there. So I built him for pure damage, 100% crit rate, 229 crit damage, 234 accuracy, 176 speed. So it needs to be 176 speed. Geomancer is replaceable. You could use Turvold. I was actually trying to build my Turvold. I ran out of silver, but I would probably, I'm going to try out Turvold pretty soon. I just need to get Turvold to 176 speed. Preferably, you want to try to put Turvold in a Savage set so he's hitting even more damage if you can help it. Or you could put him in a Toxic set with high damage. But I really want to put my Turvold in a Savage set with crazy high damage, 176 speed, and then he's just going to go off. Now, I'm not sure if Turvold's going to do more damage than Geomancer. I think he would, because there are times where Geomancer's ability here, where it reflects damage, it doesn't always work very well. You'll see a bunch of zeros popping up on the clan boss. Because of the block damage on ourselves, the clan boss is not going to do damage to himself because, you know, we're not taking any damage. So there's the War Master. Again, I showed you that. He's fully booked. That's his gear. Let's go on to Farak and the Fat. So again, tried to go for Toxic, couldn't quite get it. So I've got a mix of Toxic and a mix of Relentless. I wish I could have gotten all Toxic on this guy. Another one, 176 speed, 76% crit rate, 210 crit damage, 2800 attack, 238 accuracy. Would have been nice to have, you know, more attack on him. But again, the gear is not that insane. I did put him in an attack boot, attack percent. Now, I'm afraid of upgrading this. I don't want to upgrade it to 16 because if I do, it could land on speed, which would throw off the speed tune. So I don't want that to happen. And then HP percent, I could upgrade this fully. Maybe I'll get more crit rate or maybe I'll get defense. But I don't want to put in any more glyphs on speed. Pretty much you just want him at 176 speed. He's also replaceable. You could change him out for, I guess you could change him out for any ally attack champion. You could change him out for example, like not Ninja, because Ninja's going to speed up with the A1, plus it's going to go hand in hand with the HP burn. That's going to be an issue. That's one thing I just thought of, is when I ran it the first time, the HP burn, I don't know if that caused any issues with Geomancer's passive working or not. But I think it more so has to do with the block damage, if I'm not mistaken. But you can leave it in the comments down below. But again, Farak the Fat, he is replaceable. You could use like a crazy Dracomorph, or you could use another damage dealer who does high damage. You could use Fane instead of Farak the Fat. She'll do some pretty good damage. But I do like Farak the Fat because of that ally attack ability. So let's go ahead. I don't know if I showed you everything for him. Let me just real quick show you his stats again. So 176 speed, there's his crit rate, crit damage, 238 accuracy. Masteries, I did go with Support Tree, and I went down to Cycle of Magic, and Lore of Steel, made it so he was perfectly out 176. And then I did Sniper and Master Hexer to extend those debuffs. So there you go, that's Farakin, that's the whole team. Let's go ahead and showcase the team for you guys. And we'll see if we can get more damage than what we got the first time. The first time around, we ended up getting 41.61 million damage. So I'm really hoping to go in and get even more damage this time around. Again, if I put Brimstone on, if I ever get Brimstone, Mastery, or Blessing on one of these legendaries, we're going to do a lot more damage. And again, before you get upset or freak out, don't freak out. You can change out to Tohana for Doom Priest. You can change out Farakin for Fane and other champions. Just as long as you're hitting that 35 million, you're good to go. So let's go into this. Let's get it started. And I'm hoping we can just go right through. I may just go ahead and take you to the end of the battle so you're not having to watch the entire thing. But I do want you to show, just to see how it works out. Let me move myself out of the way, shrink myself down a little bit there so you can see a little bit better. But you'll see that the abilities all work perfectly. I mean, I could be wrong, I only ran it one time, but it worked out perfectly. Went 50 turns, no problem at all. Alright, so far so good. We are getting the counterattacks off, which is fantastic from Skullcrusher. And we do have the decreased attack as well from Tohana. It's not really necessary. That extra debuff with the block buffs debuff is not necessary as well. So again, Tohana, probably you would want to replace her with Doom Priest if possible, because then you can place more poisons instead of the decreased attack and the block buffs debuff, because more poisons means more damage at the end of the day. Plus you can put on a decreased defense as well, because I believe, yeah, Farakin has the A1 do decreased defense, which he just landed just there. So, yeah, not a bad team. Alright, so I'm just going to let this run through for you guys so you can just watch the whole thing out. And if you want to just scroll to the end, you'll see the damage at the end, and then I'll come back to you in a second. Alright, so not bad damage here, 39.76 million damage. So it is a 2-key team, very consistent. I've already done it twice. Typically, if something were to go wrong, it would have gone wrong already. So very consistent team, I would say. And it was a 10-minute team. I just clicked auto, full auto, Helicath doing 7.2 million, Skullcrusher 5.3, Farak 6.2, Geomancer 11 million damage, Tohana 9.5 million damage. So not bad at all. And let me just showcase that to you real quick here. So in total, I did 81.37 million 2-key on Ultra Nightmare. Not a bad team at all. Again, the team looks good. One last time I want to say you can change her out for Doom Priest. You could also potentially utilize someone like Lanatharil if you wanted to with his ally attack as well. He places the increased crit damage before ally attacking. And I did notice that Geomancer's passive there, it wasn't working all that well, right? So we weren't proccing extra damage from his passive. So I think they actually nerfed that. So if you have block damage, it's not going to work because we're not doing damage to ourselves from the boss's damage from his attack. So right here it does say that decreases the damage all allies receive by 15%, deflects the damage onto each enemy under HP burn, debuff placed by this champion. If there are multiple champions on the same team with this skill, only one will activate. Whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. Now, it could be because this was nerfed with a block damage buff, so, I mean, it works against the Iron Twin, but I also believe it could be because of Farak and the Fat. Because he is placing the HP burn here with this ability, it might be overshadowing Geomancer's ability. I don't know for sure. I haven't tested it out. I might try that out, but I don't really want to waste keys right now. But yeah, so I think it could be overshadowing as well. But leave it in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Is this a team that you might start utilizing yourself? Let me know. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate it if you've watched this far, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.